gotta have a life to live it. You gotta be nice to be strong. And now that I think about it, all this time I've been wrong. You think you're getting out there. You think you're soft and sweet. But if you come and ask me, I just won't speak. The days and the nights, the days and the nights, the days and the nights are here. When I walk down the street, you look the other way. You pretend that I'm not there. You make me think about, yeah, did I brush my hair? The days and the nights, days and the nights, the days and the nights are here. Getting lost in the music, how many times to weep? Everyone gets nervous walking down the street, sitting alone in a crowd. Everyone's crying out and getting lost in the sounds in the middle of the night. Everything would seem like when we would fall asleep with our backs against a tree, whispering silently. The only thing that I've seen has been in between the everlasting hopes and dreams running past me every night. To the past as we still hold hands, grab each other like we took the old van to the ocean. Tonight when the stars align, looking at your heart and you'll find everything you wish to be like, everything you thought would seem like. You thought everything would seem like when we would fall asleep with our backs against a tree, whispering silently. The only thing that I've seen has been in between the everlasting hopes and dreams running past me every night. everything would seem like when we would fall asleep with our backs against a tree, whispering silently, silently.
Since 8th grade, I bought an electric and started taking lessons. And then once I got into high school, bought an acoustic guitar and discovered this sort of slower, sort of alternative version of guitar music.
And why did you choose guitar in the first place?
Well, I've been playing the viola my whole life since elementary school, and so I grew up as a classical musician. And I guess classical music really invokes a lot of emotion, and I thought with switching to acoustic, I could sort of mirror that. And I guess once I got into late middle school, early high school, I started writing music and learning. Once I started learning, other clefs other than, because viola is an alto clef instrument. Once I started learning bass clef and treble clef for composition, I started learning chords. Then I was able to play other instruments that could fit into both of those clefs, and picked up piano, picked up guitar, and I still play viola, but today just guitar.
Yeah, so do you think that classical background influences how you play guitar now?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of my classes we talk about even like heavy metal and like hair bands that everybody is familiar with, but if you follow the history, most of them started out as classical musicians. So I definitely agree with that sort of sequence, starting off classically, going into alternative, going into rock, sort of progressing.
Yeah, definitely like building up from what you learned before.
Right.
Yeah, I get that. So we're gonna go with some guitar for now, right? And then later piano?
Yep. Yep.
You wake me up in the morning, but I sleep in at night, singing the blues on a scary night. It's Friday night. Whoa, uh-oh. Well, I've been thinking, baby, whether this is it. I've been thinking, baby, whether this is it. Family members beginning to remember all of your doubts. When the wind is blowing louder than you can shout, the cars go driving from the underground, the trains go far below. When the sun reaches the end of the road, well, I've been thinking, baby, whether this is it. I've been thinking, baby, whether this is it. Well, I've been thinking, baby, whether this is, if this is it.
This one's called Me and My Friends. And I wrote it before I came out to college after graduating high school.
When the night ends, when they come home, my friends, we're still sober at the end, me and my friends. Me and my friends, we are stuck in the past. We're all in some kind of hurry. We don't think it will last. Back to school they won't go if it's away from love this time. We are not alone. We never said goodbye. Me and my friends, we are stuck in the past. We're all in some kind of hurry. We don't think it will last. We're beginning to love one another. The backyard swings are off tracks. We're singing songs we don't need anymore. and my friends. We are stuck in the past. We're all in some kind of hurry. We don't think it will last.
Okay, so I know you said that last song was about coming to Beloit, and you write a lot of your songs, right? Or all of them?
Oh yeah, I write all of them.
All? Okay.
Yep.
So, how do you go about writing a song? Like, do you have a certain process that you go through?
Sure. Yeah, I start definitely with the chord progressions first. Do some like theory. I don't really usually have lyrics or meaning down before the first step. Pick the key signature, sit down at the piano, plug some chords together, and then after the progression, I can determine, some sort of melody on the right hand, which is usually becomes the vocal line, or other instruments. I mean, right now I'm just myself, so I'm just playing solo acoustic. So you're not getting the rest of the instruments in the songs. But yeah, after I got a melody line down and the chord progressions, I'll start to play it. I'll play it on piano, I'll play it on guitar, I'll play it on some different instruments. I'll move it up and down with the capo a bit just to decide what key I want and what I'm comfortable singing in. And then I start putting that aside and write some just like basic outline of poetry, which I then fit afterwards with the chord progressions. And then after I start actually playing the song, I make a few tweaks here and there to make sure the form follows that of poetry, but I can still make sure the form follows something musical.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so does it just like, when you sit down to write the song, does it just like pop out of nowhere, or is it like an experience that you're like thinking about, or like a feeling or a mood?
Yeah, well, as I get more and more used to it, and I mean, the first stage was learning, okay, sit down at the piano. I never really took piano lessons. I just kind of sat down at the piano with what I knew from playing the viola for so long, and figured out the new clefs. And once I figured out all the notes and I learned chord theory, I could more efficiently write a song. Because if I was stuck, trying to figure out notes at the same time, trying to be creative, that's going to slow the process down. So once I was able to do that, then I was able to pump out songs in a few weeks, time, rather than before when I'm trying to figure out what notes go together and, what melody line to write and what kind of poetry to write. And that could make the song take months to write. And once I sit down, I walk around with a video or a tape recorder wherever I go. Because if I, on my iPhone, I record or I type lyrics as they come to me, whether I'm sitting at a restaurant over eavesdropping on conversation and I hear someone say something, or I see a sign, or I, hear some sort of car driving down the street, in the city, downtown San Diego, and I think of something rhythmic that could fit that. And then after I have, just like a sheet full of, or a, list on the computer of little song clips, little lyrics, little melodies, little rhythms here and there, I lay them all out, listen to them over and over, and think what I can fit together. So that's my current process. Okay, this song is called The Hidden Valley of Men, and it's actually one of the more recent ones that I've written.
Soldiers wet out with their guns, their backs against the sweltering sun. And they were told it's the only way, die tomorrow or fight today. In the hidden valley of man, in the hidden valley of man, in the hidden valley of man, in the hidden valley of man. When they returned, there was nothing left, only decency mixed with sweat. In the hidden valley of man, in the hidden valley of man, in the hidden valley of man, in the hidden valley of man. I don't want you to go away. I don't want to play this game. I am tired of being here, left with all the fears. But if the sky is up and I'm alive, then I won't be there till I die. Waking up on cloudy days, you must know life needs decay. Seeing life with all these colors, that don't matter to me. This is not yet over. This is how we must be. So lately I've been here, left with hopes, not tears. where we started from. This is not yet over, but it's lightly done. But if the sky is up and I'm alive, then I won't be there till I die. Waking up on cloudy days, you must know life needs decay. You see life with all these colors that don't matter to me. Is this life another story of how we must be? We must be.
That was another good one, Colin. Thanks so much for the set tonight. Just have a few more questions for you. First of all, I feel like the piano definitely has a different tone than the guitar, and I was just wondering if you feel like a difference between playing the two, or if you prefer one over the other.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I have a lot more freedom with the piano. I don't really know every time what's going to come out every time I sit down at the piano. The guitar, I have a pretty structured plan. The piano, is more, I feel more comfort, moving up and down, right, left and right, whereas the guitar, you kind of have to really be thinking constantly about what the hand positions are for each of the chords, whereas the piano, you can just think in the scale, in the key, harmonic minor, major, regardless, etc. And just sort of move up and down, knowing that as long as you stay in that scale, whatever comes out is probably going to be right.
Mm-hmm. So if you had to play one instrument for the rest of your life, like guitar, piano, or viola, which would it be?
Well, I guess I would say the piano, because it's more universal. It can fit any kind of music. If I had to play like only one instrument the rest of my life and I wanted to be, a full-on musician, I'd be limiting myself with just the viola. I feel like, I don't know, there's a lot of groups out there that would say no to a viola, I think, but piano can really sneak its way into any kind of music.
Mm-hmm, definitely. So
More options, the piano. Go ahead.
do you have anything you're working on right now? Any current projects?
Yeah, so I've been like heavy composing this sort of stuff the past few years. Now I'm kind of working on getting it out there for the first time, playing at different places, and doing the radio with you guys, and sort of more practicing things that I've already composed rather than trying to come up with new stuff. Because after a while, you're like, oh yeah, there's that song I wrote. Oh, what was it, 3 years ago? I should, start practicing it. It's easy to forget them if you're just on crazy composition autopilot. But other than that, I'm working with the Beloit College Orchestra, composing for them, some scores, orchestration, and arrangement. and I'm doing some of that also on my own, not really for any purpose other than practice and learning, doing a lot of reading. So I'm sort of stepping back from my usual, like I said, autopilot composition mode and trying to look at what I've already written, get it out to more people, and practice it more, try to think about adding more instruments to them, because if, a few of them are kind of basic with just rhythmic sections, just chords, I gotta come up with new melodies and stuff that can make the songs fuller. And then also on the side, doing orchestration stuff, which is a lot more academic.
I think that wraps up tonight. Thank
Sure thing.
you so much for being here. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks so much.